welcome to GutPunchRP. We are here tonight playing the Blighted North D&D 5e short form campaign that takes place in the land of Lorelwind, just on the continent up above. So yeah, we are fundraising this quarter, loose use of the term, for the Transgender Law Center. If you donate through our Tiltify, any dollar that you donate, you get a chance to win some super adorable little plushies. One is an owl bear and one is a little tentacle kitty, and then there's also a plushie dice bag with it, so it's just like all the good stuff. And we do that drawing when we switch charities, and that will be sometime this spring. Also, May. What else do we do? Oh, if you want to support us in non-monetary ways, don't have the money to donate, please follow us on all of our social medias, mostly on the Twitter, here on Twitch. YouTube's great also. Get caught up on our other shows. Check it out. I think that's it. Is that it?
I think
for that
so.
one? All right, so we are going to go through introductions, so let's all just go around and just say names, pronouns, character, pronouns, and what they do for the group. Class, I guess that's called. But I am Kai, I am your GM this evening, and we'll go around and have C go next.
Hey y'all, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns, and tonight I am playing Solar, a polar bear knight slash actual just a ranger who uses they, he pronouns, and I'm super excited to be here. And I'll pass it over to Zach.
I am Zach, the gaming author, and I will be playing Zaedrin Moonforge, a half-elf artificer who also goes by he, him pronouns, as I do. And kind of the party tinker. And I'm going to pass this up to Dr. Psychowl.
Hi, I'm Jess, or Jessica, or Dr. Psychowl, except for on Twitter, where I'm Dr. Psychowl TV. I will be playing Maathea this evening. My pronouns are she, they, and her pronouns are also she, they. She is a Goliath cleric. And with that, I'll pass it over to D.
Oh, hello, my lovely creatures of the dark. My name is Dee, and tonight I will be playing Patches, a Path of the Beast Barbarian Monk multi-class. Both Patches and I use any pronouns that you feel are the most accurate.
All right, well, in that case, let's get into it on the Blighted North. All right, so we open up and it's just frigid cold. The wind is whipping at your faces as you are moving across this wide open plain. Clear sky, crisp and light blue. The sun is low in the west, glinting off snow so crystallized it threatens to blind you as the ghost of a moon rests in the sky above you. The air is so still and cold it feels solidified around you as it burns your throat and knits your eyelashes shut every time you blink. Far to the west, the glassy white is broken by the edge of the last forest. Nearer to you to the north, peeking much closer between hills as you rise and fall, is the town of Glevgar. That is where we find our party, making the way across the frozen plain along a hard-packed snow road. The road has for a long time been considered the safest way north. In the last 6 months, however, there have been reports of nightmarish animal attacks. And with the increasing frequency, even the guards that had kept the roads safe have moved back into their cities and towns. The lack of safety has impacted travel and trade to such a degree that there have been huge rewards put forth by both the government and private entities to clear up whatever is happening in this blighted north. Our party is traveling at a good clip, gliding smoothly along on the dog sleds, and a polar bear? So we'll start with some, character descriptions, again, beginning with C.
Oh my, wow, I'm so nervous all of a sudden. I think over this packed snow and the icy ground, there's the tutump, 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 that steadily gets louder and louder and louder until careening through the snow huge plumes flying up around this creature's feet. We see a polar bear massive. It looks like maybe a juvenile dire polar bear. Like, it is truly gargantuan. All white fur and small, like, shining black eyes as it, like, is hurtling, I think, like, full tilt, like a straight out sprint through the snow. And it almost, like, takes a second to see that there's actually somebody perched on the polar bear's back. And think first we see like these big gloved fingers kind of curled into the fur, and then pan up to find like this very solid furred leather armor, these big furs wrapped close around this person who is a half gold dragonborn. This person who is mostly humanoid with white skin, a pale countenance, and these golden scales that kind of frame the sides of their face, their throat, their elbows, their knees, if you could see them, with like this long gold tail with spikes coming out of the ridges of their back, along their tail, and also framing their forehead, which pokes into this like kind of short cropped brown hair with a little streak of white in it. And their dragon-like eyes, all amber and gold, are fixed, narrowed against the wind and the snow as their polar bear like continues to charge through this storming weather. And they are like galloping just alongside the dog sleds, keeping pace. And this is Solar and their polar bear moon.
Adorable. All right, so we have two sleds, one of them containing a single giant woman. And with that, will you describe your character, Jess?
Maathea is an 8-foot-tall Goliath. She stands in gleaming, heavy plate mail, with furs wrapped around it, has a wolfskin cape. She has pale, almost frost blue skin with navy blue facial markings. She has hair that is braided and pulled back that goes from a frosty, almost white blue fades to an ombre of dark blue at the ends. She has a gleaming shield and a mace with her, and but has very kind eyes, almost warm and inviting. But right now she's hunkered down and trying to keep some of the snow that's blasting about out of her eyes.
All right, and we move on to the second sled where we find two figures. I'm guessing Zaedrin might be the driver here.
Indeed, and he has reached the point where the cold is bad enough, but the wind on his face is too much, and so he activates the helmet on his arcane armor, so he's completely now encased in what looks like metallic skin, and from up with the helmet in place, either from afar or up close, he basically looks like a suit of animated armor. And the lack of wind on his face is a welcome relief, and beneath that armor, he has very pale brown skin, silver eyes, and his long hair is presently tied back beneath his helmet so it doesn't get caught on anything when he retracts or closes it. And he's just focused on the road ahead, but keeping his ears open for any sounds of trouble that one could hear over the wind whipping at them.
All right, and hunkered down in the bed of that sled, we'll find Patches.
So Patches was at one point hunkered down in the bed of the sleigh, but now currently there's just their long tail wrapped around the arm of it, as in a stark contrast to Zaedrin wanting to keep the wind out of his face. The long swinging dreadlocks of Patches are just sort of like in the absolute wind. The gray mask that was made by Maathea, just covering the face and keeping most of the snow out of their face. And they're just hanging off of the sleigh. This like large, fairly muscular form that has these stitch lines all across all of the joints and in various places from peeking out under the clothes. And the eyes behind this mask are currently this deep ambered color. And they're just like loudly like cackling and laughing at a volume that I will spare my neighbors. And just like letting themselves just be hit by snow as it goes by, and they're just like
All right, so as you are just thundering across this plain, making all of the noise in the world, you hear off in the distance, but maybe a little closer than you're used to, just a low howl of a wolf. And you wait, and you wait, still moving very quickly, and nothing else happens for a moment. So you continue, and you're coming up over this hill, down into just like a flat dip where the town of Glagvar disappears once again. Off to one side, there is a spot that you have known in the past was a camp where there were usually a few guards. Right now, knowing that most guards haven't been out here because of how dangerous it's been, you're guessing that there's nothing there? And you're continuing. And then suddenly, well, let me get a marching order before anything else. Because you're going along the trail. It's like wide enough where you could fit the 2 dog sleds next to each other, or a dog sled and a bear, but y'all can't be 3 abreast.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going first?
I would think that the dog sled team that I am driving would go first.
Okay. So.
Fantastic.
Sorry, I'm gonna be off to the side for a second. Gotta do this, gotta put little dogs. Gotta give Amber a chance to switch screens. I can't tell if she has, I can't see anything.
It's A-okay.
That is so
I think
cool.
yeah. Got the we got a live map chat. Look at that.
Yep, little guys just coming on in. And that is the one that you could see right now as you're coming into this. Are you going to continue to move with such speed through this area? Yep, I'm seeing one nod.
Yes, I think so.
All right, and again, you hear a chorus of howls this time. Not just one, but 4, 5, 10?
Can I howl back in a way that means go fuck yourself?
Absolutely. They're still howling. They're doing stuff. Although one of them does break and like stops for a second, and then you hear, "Fuck you too, buddy," in wolf.
Perfect.
And all of a sudden, as these sleds are coming forward directly in front of you, 3 wolves just dart. Just 3 little guys. Just 3 little guys, all together. They see you. They right now don't super care about you. But I would love for that front sled to make a dexterity saving throw to not hit any of these wolves.
Would that be my dexterity, or do we have stats for these sleds?
It will be a flat dex roll. Sorry, I should have.
Okay.
I got just a flat D20.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Oh, first roll of game.
First roll.
It's a 17.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you just kind of come up here, and then it just turns in that like badass way, shooting snow up. One of the wolves looks at you like, I can't believe this has happened to me. But they're still going this direction. The other 2 sleds, who would have come in first? Polar Bear or Sled 2?
I imagine that Moon and Solar are probably in between the two sleds. So
All
Polar
right.
Bear next, if that's cool.
Polar bear. You won't have to roll anything, obviously, because you see them stopping. But as you are coming in, behind you and this way, if this is not on screen, someone should let me know maybe. A wolf comes tearing this way across. And at this point, because the party is split up, let's just roll initiative.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
here we go.
Yes.
I should write down initiative probably.
Oh, I need dice to play this game, huh?
I guess.
That's gonna be a 9 for me.
14 for Solar.
Okay.
11 for Maathea.
Oh.
It's a 19 for Patches.
19 for Patches. All right. Let me just roll my 3 sets of wolves real quick. That is a D12, sir. Oh, cool. That's working out well for everyone over here. Okay. So the last sled is coming in, and Patches, you are seeing this this giant wolf just charge across in front of you.
Yeah, I just want to use the momentum of the sled to leap off of it, just like swing my tail off and have the momentum carry me forward. And I just want to tackle it.
All right.
And I'll use my bonus action midair to rage. And as I do, Patches' tail becomes more segmented and scorpion-like, with this large curved blade appearing towards the end of it. As I will take the tail version of the form of the beast.
Terrifying.
Yeah, so I got 10-foot reach.
All right. And it will be, as I pull up this murder wolf right here. Ooh, you have a pretty good strength. All right, so it's a roll off for that, right?
Well, I was just gonna attack it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
yeah.
Captain. Just go right ahead.
These are reckless attacks.
Oh no.
Because Barbarian's got a Barbarian 8. The first one is a 23 to hit.
I mean, yeah, that'll hit this old guy.
Sick.
And as you swing and notice that this is not like an entirely normal and alive wolf, you connect with it and it just kind of has too much give in a leathery way.
Gross. 15 to hit. Like,
Oh, 15 to hit?
yeah.
Yeah, meets it.
Okay,
Yeah, beats
fantastic.
it.
Then it will take, across both attacks,
Mhm.
it will take 15 points of damage for the two tail
Okay.
attacks.
All right, and now you are in its face, just grabbing it and hitting it with stuff. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll just like that's my turn.
All right, so next we have Solar.
Right on. I think seeing Patches jump off the sled just behind them, Solar goes, "Oh, gods no," and like actually just like stands up as Moon like continues to go forward, and they jump off of Moon backward. And as they do, they take out, or rather, it becomes clear that they're holding a lance that is almost as big as he is. And it actually looks rather crappy, for lack of a better term. It's all like rusted down the one end, but it looks like it was maybe once beautiful. And they are gonna go for the very same undead wolf that Patches is going for. Yeah, gonna turn right around on that guy. And I will make both my weapon attacks with my lance.
All right.
And that is going to be a natural 1 for my first roll of the game.
So,
Ouch!
Yeah, the lance
Ouch.
just catches through some flesh that is not as attached as you thought it was. It just comes away with the little tag.
Oh, that's horrible. I rolled a second nat 1.
Ooh,
I rolled
Oof.
2 natural
God bless
ones
ya.
in a row.
that's
Starting off strong.
person.
Starting off strong.
Person. Might be time to jail that die for a minute.
Ouch! Yeah, no, that was rough. That was
Straight to
real
jail.
rough.
Straight to dice jail. Straight to dice jail.
Straight to dice jail. We're just gonna put that
Do not
over
pass
there.
go. Do not collect 200.
I assumed Solar like tries to hit, and you said it went into like a weird part, and I imagine they tried to like rip it back and maybe like even just catch themselves in the face with it and just go like head over ass backward like back into the snow.
Yes, through it.
3 stooging it. And at that I'll use my bonus action, because that did not go as planned, to have Moon the polar bear just like taking note of where the other wolves are to try to keep them at bay. So maybe like if that would be like maybe an intimidation check or something like that, as Moon is a lot cooler than I am in this moment, I think.
All right. I mean, yeah, roll a bear intimidation check.
All right, bear intimidation, different dice. Let's try again. Okay, that is a 16.
Okay. You know, they're wild animals. They hurt it. They're not super concerned since they are just on some other bullshit right now.
Fair enough.
Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that was everything.
All right. So then we have Maathea. Yes.
Okay. So these wolves 3 are booking it in another direction. If I were to look in the direction that they came, what do I see? Like,
Just
it's
go ahead and-
Is something chasing them?
the direction that they're coming, over here, yeah, you'll see that there are actually just more wolves. So you're not real sure that they're being chased so much as these are their friends and there's just a shit ton of them. You know what? Just throw him back there too for fun.
Okay. So I am going to, first of all, bonus action spiritual weapon.
Oh no, spiritual. Let me get out the spiritual one.
Yeah.
And that will be where? Is that centered on you?
Not spirit guardian, spiritual weapon.
The little guy.
The little guy. The little guy.
I was so excited about the other one.
It does, I believe, come near me, range is within 60 feet. So let's go to the big dude that actually the big dude in the back that's by his lonesome.
Okay.
And
There
we'll go
it is.
ahead.
Right there, this little spiritual
And
weapon.
then go ahead and take a swing with that.
Doing a bonk.
So that's a natural 19 for a total of 26.
That will hit him, yes.
So he takes 6 points of, I believe, force damage. And then I would like to move so that I am protecting our puppies. I would like to kind of head towards that other biggin or the little guys that are in front of them.
You're going this way towards the left?
Yeah, towards the left, towards that little cluster.
Okay. but
I will
just you, not the
yeah,
sled. Okay,
yeah. I'll
got
hop
it.
off. Like I'll hop off and then.
To there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay.
All right, you have jumped off the sled and are just there gleaming in all your beautiful armor, yelling at some wolves. And in that moment, from over here, you realize what the wolves were running at, and it is a big boy. So you hear this just enraged guttural roar as, like, in this place that has always kind of been a camp, you see a Yeti just taking a few steps out towards this pack of wolves. And it will go ahead and try and grab one of these wolves with its gigantic Yeti hand. Which is a natural 20 to grab a wolf. So it's gonna pick this wolf up and it's gonna throw this wolf.
Shit. Yes.
Okay, then.
So it's gonna just pick it up and, like a baseball, throw it back about 20 feet. Just missing the sled as it skids backwards to a stop, takes a few points of damage. And that'll be, what's that? 8, sorry. And stops there, and the Yeti just holds its ground, makes itself as big as possible, and roars at these wolves, as I have to roll 2 other things real quick. Which, as it's doing all this, probably Maathea would be the only one to see this, but there is a very small Yeti kind of hiding back here. It's not doing a great job of hiding. At all. Just at all. Nor is its slightly larger friend. So there are 2 that are definitely trying to hide, would be the vibe you're picking up, and this one in front who is throwing wolves. So we have the Yetis that are now on the board. With that, Zaedrin, you're up. Yeah, that's that whole sentence. Zaedrin, you're up.
Okay. So,
Very full board.
after taking all of that craziness into account, I am going to just pull my sled to a complete stop and just run sort of straight towards the other sled. Yeah,
There?
as far as I can get, yeah.
Is your movement 30? I should have that.
35.
Okay.
But that's, yeah, I'd take like 1 step diagonally to that next square there. And as I am, as I am running up to that position, I raise my left arm and 3 miniature cannons sort of sprout out of my armor as I cast Magic Missile and fire all 3 darts at the pseudo undead wolf that Patches and Solar are fighting. And as I do that, I shout, "We've got bigger problems up ahead!"
Alright, and Magic Missile is 1d4?
Per dart.
Alright.
So that is 5, 4. Wow, okay, in order. So that's 12 points of force damage on that wolf.
Okay. What is how do you do math? Alright, so this wolf that is just made of some stuff gets hit with these darts and pieces of them just kind of flake off. And you see that it almost like dissolves on the air as though it's like when you throw water up in freezing cold temperatures, it just kind of poofs away. He's been hit a few times. He's not looking his best, but like he wasn't looking great at the beginning, so sometimes it's a little hard to tell with these undead monstrosities. But he's still up, making noise, being a jerk. All right. And with that, You hear one more howl, deeper than the other ones. And if I had my thing... And then you hear in this deep guttural voice, "You will not live to speak of the Dark One's machinations." Okay, so this is right here. Oh, what? Yeah, okay. You don't know where that came from. Like, most of these wolves look like they are wolves. The Yeti definitely didn't say it, as it's just screaming in rage. So there's that. That's out there, looking for you. And now we have a whole bunch of wolves who are gonna try and do stuff. Sorry, guys. Okay, so these three up here, 2 of them are going to miss. This one that just got thrown is very mad and is just going to rush back in and bite this Yeti. Not your problem yet. The other of you will miss back there. Alright, and one of these is going to run forward and try and get you. All 3 of them will run forward, but only one of them will actually even make an attempt. Because it is 17 plus 5 is... that's 22.
Unfortunately, that misses.
Okay, alright, that's super cool.
I raise up my shield and like push it back as it tries to chomp down.
And all that shit'll miss too. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Alright, so that is the 6 wolves just running around being terrible at their one job, which is to like bite. And then we got 2 other big boys who are very, very mad. One of them is just getting torn apart by 3 people just firing stuff at it up. So he is gonna go ahead and try and do some damage and probably not do great.
Attacks against patches have advantage.
Have advantage? Oh yeah.
Yep,
They're
reckless attack.
Reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Which you've been the one who's hurt this wolf the most, so probably that's where they would go.
Fair enough.
No, so I'll just go ahead and do neither. Wait. 19 to hit on one?
19 hits.
Okay, cool. And 21 to hit on the other.
21
Which
hits.
will be 11 points of damage from this bite as it comes down on your arm.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Are we reducing 11 to 5 or 6? Because I am raging. So half damage.
Would be 5. Technically, I think it's supposed to be 6 if it's damage, right?
Sounds good.
I don't. But then you also take 15 of clawing damage as it comes down while still holding your arm with the claws.
Sick.
Okay. So that is that guy attacking. He's not going to try and get away because he is hewed in. Hemden? Hemden would be the correct term. All right, which puts us back at the top with Patches as this wolf is just in your face, snapping at you and clawing, making your life worse today.
Fantastic. Patches' eyes start going a kaleidoscope of colors before eventually settling on being like this green hue, and will shout back to Zaedrin and say, "Well, these aren't exactly not a problem, and I would like to make 2 attacks against this feller again. I'm not going to attack recklessly this time, however. The first one is a 22 to hit, and the second one is a 16 to hit.
That will also hit.
Wunderbar. So it will take... Okay. Hold on, that's so many numbers. Well, it'll take 20 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Yeah, with that, there's definitely some like slothing off that happens as you're just laying into him, where you can now see like exposed inner workings that are just kind of propped up by sort of a black energy that's just pulsing.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're seeing inside that right now. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I think that'll be my turn for now.
All right, so then we are on to Solar with Maathea on deck.
Right on. Solar picks himself up out of the snow, and seeing like these blows being traded between Patches and this undead wolf thing, their jaw kind of sets a little bit, and they grip their lance and they go, "Don't mess with me this time." And I'm gonna try to make my attacks again this time. I'm speaking to my dice through my character. Okay, that one was a natural 2, so I don't think that hits, but an 18 to hit that time.
That'll definitely hit, yeah.
All right. As I assume, like the one kind of goes, the one attack goes off, but seeing that kind of like black pulsing, Solar would aim for there and like jab down, coming up next to Patches and kind of doing a like on your left as they jab in for a good 12 points of piercing damage on that one.
All right. As you go in and find this weak spot, the blade just rings super true, and the energy pulses around it, kind of climbing up this blade that you have for half a second before going back in and just kind of exploding within the creature. And it falls to the ground and just disappears, mostly in the form of that little ghostly snow stuff. So that's one guy who's like, "Oh shit, I'm done."
As he explodes, Solar like gives a sideways glance at Patches, but I think there are maybe too many wolves to warrant a conversation in this exact moment. So Moon, I think, already just starts taking off, and Solar will kind of grab onto her fur and like kick up off the ground up onto her back, and I'll just use my movement to get to charge towards the wolves that are surrounding our good Goliath friend.
Yeah, it's about there. These dogs will just kind of go that way because they're like, no. All right. So then we are. Is that your turn?
I believe so, unless we're in range and Moon can attack one of the wolves.
Yeah, I
If
would
not,
say Moon,
totally fine.
Moon can snap on this little guy right here in the back.
All right, Moon, let's do it. Not them rolling better than me. 16 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit that wolf.
All right, let's see. Where's my D8? So that is going to be a 10 points of piercing damage on that wolf, as Moon just comes in, grabs it in her huge jaws, and just tosses.
Yeah, Moon's head is going, and this wolf just cries out in that high-pitched, terrified way as it like looks away from Maathea and back at your gigantic polar bear.
You hear Patches from behind you just like holler in approval, like, yes!
All right, so with that, we will then be on to Maathea with a Yeti on deck.
Maathea grips her mace and it lights up with this radiant energy, and she plunges it towards the ground and casts spirit guardians around her. So I need everything, and I will name my allies and the dogs as things that do not get affected by this.
So right on top of you, or do you want it somewhere else?
It has to be on. It's centered on me, no matter what.
Okay, I don't know clerics. What am I doing? No, don't touch the bear. There we are. So that is a spirit guardians right there, and it's
15 wisdom save.
15 wisdom save. Wolves, I don't think, are very wise at all. Ooh, one is two are a natural 16. One is a natural 1 though, so one of them.
Okay, so the one that fails takes 14 points of radiant damage. The successful ones take half that, so 7. With what were you about to say?
Well, these two had not been damaged and they are fine, but this one, just as the other animal did, bursts into that white powder, and again, you just see that little ball of black energy just along with it.
And then picking the mace back up with a flourish, the spiritual weapon follows the exact same path and tries to hit the big guy again.
Okay, big guy in back.
That is a 26 to hit.
That'll bonk him real good, yeah.
For 11 points of force damage.
All right.
And Maathea will look over to Solar and be like, I feel like we've got a bit of a dog problem.
You could say that again.
All right.
That's my turn.
So that'll be that werewolf, or that, not a werewolf, that wolf just snapping at the spiritual weapon that has just bonked it like a toy. And then we have the Yetis, who are, the one is still just roaring and has this wolf right here attached to its leg. Have to look at this stat real quick. Sorry, everything is very far away on the computer. But the Yeti is going to... There we go. There it is going to go ahead and just with this mighty roar directly at these 3 wolves is going to do a cold breath. So that is going to be a little 15-foot cone that will hit all 3 of them. Yep, all 3 of them. So he is cold breathing them, and oh, that's a 30-foot cone? I grabbed the wrong size. Yeah, we're good. they're like they're just hanging out. They're just invincible dogs. It's fine. Alright, and that is going to be how much damage to those little guys? They're not gonna save. We'll let them try though. Maybe they'll do it. It won't matter. Yeah, nope, none of them saved. And they are all just going to, in the same manner, burst into that frozen air with little motes of dark energy just following behind them. Set you guys down. So the Yeti sees the spirit guardians in front of it, has just destroyed all of these wolves, and it's going to kind of pause for a minute and turn to start going this way. But it will... There's still like enough fight at its back where it's not going to just turn and sprint away. However, these ones will disappear off the map for now, because they are going further away for sure. But he's holding his ground and just waiting for him. And that brings us to Zaedrin.
Well, I'm definitely not getting any closer to the Yeti.
Wise.
I'm actually gonna move just straight to my left, and I'm gonna stay out of the Spirit Guardians and kind of clamber up onto that little hill over there to get a better field of view on the battlefield.
Okay, all right. Uh-huh.
And yeah, no, I'm not antagonizing the Yeti after that. I'm gonna take 2 of my lightning launcher shots at the monster wolf over there.
Excellent.
And first one is gonna be a charged shot. So that's gonna be dirty 20 to hit.
Nice, yeah, that'll hit.
And just for the ease of it, since Beyond doesn't want to play nice. That's going to be 6 plus 10 points of lightning damage on the first shot.
Excellent.
And second shot is going to be a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
for an additional 7 points of lightning damage.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, he is out there, still looking like he's on his feet. Definitely has some chunks of flesh that are less attached than they were. But yeah, he is still up, still roaring, trying to bite that spiritual weapon like a chew toy.
What in the nine hells is going on here? Alright, that's all I got.
Alright, so with that, now entering from up this side, we have just one more guy, just one more little guy who is going to cut off the Yeti going that way. And again, that deep guttural voice you hear. There was a language with this, but it's too late now. You just hear, "You shall not see tomorrow's dawn." And that wolf is going to attack that Yeti, which is just so fun for that poor Yeti. Ooh. Does that wolf attack that Yeti? Yeah, both of those will hit the Yeti, and then that is damage to the Yeti. So the wolf is now right up on it, just grabbing its arm, and the Yeti is just screaming out in rage and pain as this talking very mean wolf is just out here showing up and biting people. But that'll be that very mean wolf's turn, which leaves this guy over here. No. Yep, the 2 remaining little wolves will just go ahead and try and bite Maathea. That's their best bet right now.
Oh, wait, are they starting their turn? In my Spirit Guardians?
Yeah, go ahead and murder them. Just go ahead.
Yes. No, they need to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I mean, I will count those as their rolls. They did not save.
All right. They take 15 points of radiant damage.
All right, and with that, the light that is within your Spirit Guardians just goes inside these wolves, and they both just turn into that fine white powder, and the little dark mote that was inside of them is just overcome with radiant energy. And those are all the little wolves. Don't know why I laugh like that, sorry. But then we just have this other big guy over here who is just not having the best day, but also knows that he should not go in the Spirit Guardian thing. So he is going to, what is his movement? He's gonna go grab Zaedrin, who's just been shooting at him this whole time. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Okay, everyone be cool, be cool. All right, so that will be him trying to hit you, and that is... Ooh, that one is definitely not gonna hit. That's terrible, that's heinous. Okay, and that one will be a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and that is his claw, so that is 11 points of... 15 points of slashing damage and 5 points of cold damage.
Alright, and then as my reaction, after he hits me, I am going to activate my repulsion shield and blast him back 15 feet.
Oh no. Alright, so now...
And question.
Yeah.
Because I pushed him away, does that grant me an opportunity attack? Well, no, never mind. That's my reaction anyway, so never mind.
Oh, right. That was that wolf trying to do some stuff, and he didn't do a great job. So now we are back up to Patches, who just saw this gigantic wolf go for your buddy Zaedrin, and then just get blasted back.
And attacking my friends cannot and will not stand. Patches' eyes start to glow red, and they say, "That's mine!" And I am going to take a 10-foot step back. And then I'm going to do a running long jump. So I jump a little bit differently than your average bear. So yeah, it's pretty busted. So I used my bonus action to spend a key point in Step of the Wind. So my jump distance is doubled. So I can jump 20 feet as a base, but since I am a form of the beast barbarian, anytime I go to make a jump, I can also make an athletics check and add the number rolled on the die to my jump distance. And since it's an athletics check, I have advantage.
Oh, goodness
So,
gracious.
Dope.
Patches is going to launch themselves forward 34 feet just in a straight diagonal. And I want to just like claws go straight into the chest of this thing before the
Absolutely.
tail comes around to strike. The first attack is going to be reckless. I think is fair to say, considering how the first attack happens. That is a 19 hit with a reckless attack.
That'll hit.
Okay, and then the second one is a natural 20 to hit.
Oh ho ho ho! Yeah, that'll hit.
Wunderbar. So the first attack is 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the critical hit, which is not brutal, which is so sad, but oh well. 8 is 14 points to hit with the crit.
Okay. Yeah, you are attached to this wolf and just tearing chunks out of it. It is trying to push you off, doing its best. It's alive, but barely. It is really focused on trying to get you off of it.
Raggle fraggle. And that's my turn.
All right. One very injured wolf over there, and then we are back to Solar with Maathea on deck.
Solar looks up at this little hill where it seems like Patches has got that under control. And I think the like screaming of the Yeti now kind of catches their attention, and they see the wolf like on the far side. And they like share a glance with Maathea as well before turning Moon and like kind of pointing with their spear almost where they want Moon to go. And I am going to use my exceptional training bonus action to let Moon dash to get us over as fast as we can over to that wolf if possible.
All right. What's the distance on that gonna be?
That should be 60 feet if I can make it.
Absolutely.
Right
You
on.
can even make it to like behind him if you'd like, or just want to be up next to him.
Just up next to him, I think, is fine.
Okay.
And here's now another question because I also made a broken build. Is Moon bigger than this wolf?
Oh, no, this wolf is smaller than it's supposed to be. So, no, it would not be.
Okay, no problem. That is totally fine. With that, either way, I will be making my 2 lance attacks against that wolf coming up to it after charging with Moon.
Excellent.
Okay, the first one is going to be a 13 to hit.
That will not hit.
Okay, and then the second one is going to be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, that I can do. So that one is going to be... Oh, nice. 15 points of piercing damage on that one.
Excellent. All right, and the wolf is still holding this Yeti in its mouth, but its eyes is very like intelligent eyes, but very, very like grossly dark with a little bit of ichor just like below them. Snap over to you, and it sees you in a way that you do not appreciate. All right, is that your turn then?
Yes. Solar's expression darkens as this wolf looks at them. But that's it for me.
All right, and then it'll be on to Maathea.
Okay, can I get to that wolf thing with 60 feet of movement?
Yes, I think that was correct.
I think so. It's just...
I mean, you can get behind the 2 people that are creating, or the Yeti and the person that are creating a wall there is the issue.
Well, no, will 60 feet get me, regardless of the position of the other things on there? Will 60 feet get me?
Yes? Yes.
Okay. That's all. So I will drop the concentration on my spiritual weapon. I will run like with heavy metal footsteps, run forward 30 feet, take my mace out, start to bring it up, lighting it up with radiant energy, misty step as a bonus action, and slam down on that wolf with my mace. I dropped Spirit Guardian, sorry. So that I wouldn't hurt the Yeti.
Do you need spiritual weapon still?
Yeah, that's still up and still on the board. You can move it 30 feet closer.
All right.
But it won't do it. Yeah.
So right there. That's fine.
So now I will just roll to hit.
Just gonna do a bonk.
Just gonna do a bonk. Natural 19 for a total of 27.
That will bonk.
That is 9 points of bludgeoning damage, but because I am a Forge Domain cleric, I am also going to Divine Strike and add an additional 1d8 of fire damage to that. For 7 points of fire damage.
16, and that'll be... Okay. Math. All right. Yeah, that wolf is not super happy with what you guys are doing right over here. It's not super cool of you at all. And now we have ye old Yeti going. Which I'm gonna write down these stats closer to me. Jeez Louise. Did it get the recharge on that? I don't think so. No, definitely not. All right, so it is just going to, since this wolf is attached to it, and since y'all seem to be helpful right now, it is going to just continue to absolutely lay into the wolf. These two. Ooh, oh, buddy, that's not great. But one of them will still hit and do a little bit of damage to this wolf. Wolf is still in his space, definitely going for the Yeti, but has noticed y'all there, and now that it's surrounded, is not looking quite as confident in its life choices, we'll go with. Which brings us to Zaedrin's turn. Muted.
You're muted.
Given that Patches is so thoroughly dismantling this other wolf, I think I am actually, seeing how the battle has shifted, I am going to use my action to dash basically in a straight line right to start circling around the other bit of terrain and flank, kind of box in the Yeti and whatever else it's fighting over there.
All right, so 60 feet will get you right there. Is that how far you got?
70 feet.
Okay, I think you can get to right there. Will be the place you can see everything.
Yep, and that's my turn.
Okay. All right, and then it is... No, that guy's dead. That one's still alive. All right, now it is this wolf that is absolutely surrounded's turn, and he is not super happy with what's going on. Most of his friends are dead. And he's one single guy. He's gonna make a break for it, is what he's going to do, even though there's a few attacks that are about to happen. So, everyone roll to try and murder this wolf as it just takes off this way.
Opportunities attack, you say?
21 will hit. I need to do Yeti.
18 to hit.
That'll also hit.
That's 13 points of piercing for me.
That is 17 points of necrotic as I cast inflict wounds because I am warcaster.
Okay, all right. And the Yeti just misses as his arm that has been injured by this wolf doesn't swing quite as well as it usually does. But this wolf has quite a good movement speed, so it is going to just be charging off into this vast white expanse. It has a 50-foot movement, so it's it's booking. It is booking. And as it does, let me just... You see it. It was gonna try and like hide, but there's nothing out there to hide against. It's just this little like dirty white patch that's moving across this absolutely glistening expanse of white snow. And this Yeti is just kind of in that holding pattern. We're like, y'all were doing something together 2 seconds ago, but they are not sure what is going to happen right this exact second. Plus, we're still in initiative, and you still got this obviously very alive and dangerous guy over here attacking Patches, who will try and attack Patches.
It has advantage.
Oh shit, it has advantage. That's a natural 18 for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And 21 for the other.
Yes.
Okay, which is going to go ahead and be 11 points of bite damage and 5 points of cold damage for the first attack. And then 15 points of slashing damage and 5 points of cold damage as it just is trying to rip you off of it and raking its claws across your back.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, he'll try and run too. He'll give it the
Absolutely
old college try with his high
Under
amount
no
of hit
circumstance.
points.
How dare. I think I have special sauce for this.
Oh no. Yeah, he's just like mostly made of tatters at this point.
I don't have special sauce for this, but I do have a 10-foot reach when it leaves my radius. That is actually a miss. That is only a... Oh god, if I could read this die. Yes, that's only an 11 to hit.
Ooh, okay. Well, this guy is also just booking it on all of the like 2 toes that he has left on his little feet, just hauling ass. And he's gone. He's also got a really good movement speed, so even though he did that, he's already 50 feet away. I mean, if you really... Do you think you'll pursue him? Do you want me to keep him there?
Well, Patches will actually look like very torn between like... Patches initially like goes to go after it, but then like looks over and sees friends surrounded by Yeti, doesn't know what's up with the Yeti, and just goes, ah! And we'll just leave it be.
Oh. He had so few hit points. It was just like, it'll be more dramatic. With his
Yeah,
2 hit
missed.
points. Right. With that, all of the wolves have dispersed, unless they are just little piles of ash on the ground. So now we are back to Solar, who is right next to a very large Yeti, who is staring you down.
Mm-hmm. Once this wolf goes off, Solar, like had tried to get it and had tracked it, like had watched it go, like had followed the spots into the snow, and then like their eyes just kind of sweep like back and up, and they immediately like drop their lance and let it fall into the snow, and let Moon kind of like keep going. Like Moon will like chase the wolf for like a little while just to run it off further, but is not actually going to try to attack it or anything like that. But Solar kind of gets down in front of the Yeti, and I know that it's not speak with monsters, but I will cast speak with animals. As Solar kind of like raises both of their hands up, and just goes, no harm, helping, and then like will point at the like torn up arm, and then back at Maathea. Healing? Do you need healing?
The Yeti will look at you, confused for a moment, and start speaking in Giant.
I do not speak Giant. I do not.
It's fair.
I think you would know that your friend does.
Yeah, but Maathea's up next and does
True.
speak Giant.
There's another friend.
Oh, everyone speaks Giant, I guess. Yeah, but like people who speak Giant will hear here, I guess healing would be good. Like, just understanding what you're saying and being like, sure, this day is taking a turn. And he kind of like looks off to the side and yells something else out in Giant that seems to be like names. But that's Maathea's turn now.
Yeah, Maathea will approach the Yeti and, well, before she approaches the Yeti, she'll kind of mutter under her breath in Dwarven about like, Yeti is still standing, doesn't need healing, but fine. And then like walks forward and will cast Cure Wounds on the Yeti. And heal it for 8 points of healing.
Yeah, you know,
then,
some of its giant Yeti skin knits back together, but he's also like 15 feet tall and just kind of like, oh, neat.
And then in Giant will be like, are you okay? Kind of like look over her shoulder and family.
And yeah, like these other two, we're out of initiative order, but these other two will come over and kind of rejoin cautiously, and you gather that it's kind of like mate and child situation. But yeah, in Giant they'll kind of be like, yes, we lived in the last forest near the Boiling Lake. The wolves have been pursuing us for better part of a week. They sort of like look at each other with like a very, very significant look, and then kind of like fall silent and just sort of like shift their weight. They're not doing anything like aggressive, but they're just kind of like, okay, what do you guys want?
Chat would like to see the Yetis, if you could put them kind of center screen.
There's a Yeti. There's Yeti friend. And the baby Yeti, who's just a very small guy. Look at him.
Big Yetis. Patches
Show
will do.
Small.
Patches will do a Hulk jump just to insert themselves into the area. They'll just like land in snow, like waist deep, and then pull themselves out of the snow.
Just put Patches up here for now.
Exactly.
Patches a shot.
Just to be closer to friends, just in case. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, all the wounds and like cuts on Patches begin to slowly stitch themselves together. As I'll use a bonus action to restore 28 hit points.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Just a bonus action.
Just a bonus action, 28 hit points. It's whatever.
And like I said, the Yetis, they're not really gonna like give you more information without being prodded, but they are like, if you don't say anything, gonna slowly start to back up.
How far away is that last wolf by now?
Like
The one that ran off.
this one this way would be like over 200 yards.
I never catch it.
Yeah.
I think Maathea would ask the Yetis about, have you seen these wolves before? Have you encountered them?
Sort of again turn to each other and significant look. They are, well, they are not of the last forest, but more and more we've been seeing these dark creatures coming from deep in the forest and permeating the edges, attacking the gates to the dwarven mines that are also on the lake. Many people went down into the mines with them to stay safe, but we decided to leave. We saw too much, though, and now they chase us.
What do you mean, saw too much?
There's a man in the forest, and he is creating abominations. He's knitting together monsters. And they kind of like pause on that word and look over Patches and their tails and their stitched together parts.
Did Patches recognize the voice that came out of the wolf at all?
No,
No?
I mean,
No.
it's a deep, resonant, monstery sounding voice, so it sounds like a lot of things, but it's not distinctly familiar, no.
Okay. Patches is talking to themselves at the moment, not really paying attention to what's going on around.
In seeing wow, brain. In seeing Maathea apparently conversing with the Yetis, I'm gonna walk up to you and just for a brief second pull my helmet back so they know that I'm not here to restart that fight with them, and just ask, what are they saying? Can you understand them?
Yes, they're saying that there's a man in the forest who is stitching together monster parts and making abominations, and then they looked at Patches.
I immediately turn and look at Patches myself for a second before looking back.
You're very good at this subtlety.
I mean, we all know how long Patches has been looking for the guy.
I know, I think we have very good lead.
Very good lead. Kind of. And they look after, Solar looks after where the wolf had run off to. Like a perversion of nature. It's disgusting. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And they turn their back and then turn around again and give like a curt nod, like, and half bow toward the Yetis. But then like pivot again and start marching through the snow toward where Patches is.
I follow.
I think at this point, Patches has gotten up and is starting to just like kick snow and break ice boulders and is just not dropping the rage, like, because they're currently processing a lot and the possibility of who this may or may not be. And I just want to ride out the last of whatever's left of the minute of rage, just fucking thrashing things until my friends approach.
I think maybe there's even like a familiar moment where Solar will start packing big snowballs to toss at you. Because they like to like almost like to get your focus and to like start moving into like a rhythm where like then it could be like us focusing on each other that will then like kind of like cool down, if that makes sense.
Then I would say that you watch as the red starts to bleed into this like magenta color until it becomes completely blue, and Pat just sort of like stands up and shakes the snow off and says, "Well, I figured this day would come at some point.
It's good to have a lead."
Weird to have a lead.
As they're having this conversation, and while the voice is still fresh in my mind, I'm I'm gonna go back to the sled and break off just a small like corner of a railing or something and use my magical tinkering feature to record on that piece of wood the last thing I heard the voice say.
Okay.
So if we go features and traits. So, yeah, imbue a tiny non-magical object with a magical property of your choice, up to a 6-second long recorded message. And I can have a maximum of 4 of them at a time. So now we have a permanent record of the voice and the last thing it said.
All right. Sounds good.
I think as this cooldown is still kind of occurring, Solar will come up beside Patches, like kind of all the way, and Moon will also come trundling out from like the barren plain after having like chased the wolf a good distance more, kind of like snuffle into Solar's back, like nosing for treats, which Solar just like takes in stride completely. And actually like will offer their hand to like put on Patch's shoulder, kind of like a question of like, is it okay if I touch your shoulder?
Patches nods and says, sometimes I wonder if I almost made him up. And maybe I was always like this, but I don't know.
Do you need any more healing, friend?
I should be fine. Thank you.
Solar nods. And then kind of like in the way that they do, I think that it takes them time to process things. So they like mule what you like said, mull over like what you said for like a few seconds more before nodding and then turning back to you and saying, everyone comes from somewhere. We'll find him. Hope is hard and dangerous sometimes, but we're all looking with you, so you don't have to do it alone. You know?
Yes, that is different from how it was. And the tail slowly like relaxes and the blade retracts as the rage fades the rest of the way away. And I'll look over at Zaedrin and Maathea and say, are you two all right?
Well enough. Nothing I can't patch up later once we actually get to safety.
I'm quite good. I'm going to have to clean my shield. There's wolf bits on it.
Ditto to that, I say as I raise my shield. And actually, on that thought, I motion you to hand me your shield.
I hand it over to you.
And I cast Prestidigitation to clean it. Before doing the same on my own.
That is nice. But you know, if you like spend some time with like actual doing the physical cleaning of it, you could like it could help with your stature a little bit.
Maybe when we have time in a workshop. And maybe, in the event that we get time in a workshop, someone will let me finally repair their lance!
It's not broken. It doesn't need repairing. Solar doesn't even like turn around to address the comment. Like they just speak with their back to you.
And Patches will nod and say, I am glad that Red did not try and bite the wolves. They seemed decaying, like they were falling apart. So, that's good.
Yes, they were rather disgusting, weren't they? And despite this, Solar kind of tiptoes or like tentatively starts to go for if there is any like residue of that black pulsing light or liquid or whatever that was to try to see if there's anything there.
It's kind of like when you kill a vampire in Skyrim, how it leaves a little glowing pile. Like that's about what you're getting. It's kind of like a deep, like gross blue.
Ew. Solar kind of like prods it with the end of their spear. This is my like blood hunter main is like grab it, and I'm like, no, I don't think they would. I'm playing a different character right now, and I think they turn their nose up a little bit as they look at the dust and like prod it a little bit with their spear. Have we ever seen anything like this before?
You can roll history checks if you'd like.
I'll never say no to a history check. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
8.
In your travels, you have seen other creatures that are sort of, I want to say, dark constructs that die in a similar way. So, yes, generally.
It's been a long time since anything has come this far south, though. It's troubling, given all the rumors.
Zaedrin just kind of closes his eyes a moment and then shudders at the thought and files it away and starts trying to remarshal the dogs and the sleds and get everything set up to get out of here.
And the dogs are very used to such shenanigans, and while they kind of did try and do a scatter, they're like, oh, okay, we're back to work, I guess. And the Yetis have, like, if you haven't been engaging with them, have been doing the, like, shuffling out of the scene sort of thing. And are,
Absolutely.
like, going the direction that wolf went generally, but you're kind of gathering that that's not the direction the wolf would continue to go. Based on context, you know. Go ahead.
While the rest of the party is being helpful, Patches starts rolling around in the snow with Moon.
And as you're beginning this process of packing up, in the distance you hear, "Oh, we're coming!" And just like off about 200 yards, just coming over a rise from the north towards you, some town guards just finally showing up, just right on time, on these huge woolly oxen type creatures that are just great for the weather, but like not the fastest animals out there. So they're like just punching the ground and sending up these like plumes of snow again, and arriving at you just kind of in a skid, the steam rising off them, looking very majestic. One of the guards goes, "What was all that then?" And with that, we'll take our break.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this first half of Blight in the North. We're going to take a few minutes of a break. If you're catching us on Twitch, that'll just be about 5 minutes. If you're catching us on YouTube, stay tuned for episode 1, part 2, which will be out in a couple-ish days. Yeah. Someone let me know.